focus on. My first question is instability in crime intelligence a new phenomenon that started with Minister Mnchunu? Okay, thanks, General. I really spent some time on this presentation of yours, and at no point does it mention political influence, because you were given a mandate by the Portfolio Committee to come and present on instability in criminal intelligence. Okay, I think we can move and agree, General, that this line that you are saying that Minister Mnchunu crossed is a very, very thin line, and many people don't know where the line is. And I think even having written this like this is part of demonstration for that. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Good afternoon, General, the National Commissioner. General, firstly, I must apologize that we are rushing through our questions. We'd really have loved to spend some more time with you. Unfortunately, it's a bit late and we have to go. So please do forgive me if I rush you a little bit. General, in the terms of reference of this ad hoc committee, which you've also outlined in your statement, we are mandated to investigate, amongst others, obviously instability within the criminal intelligence of the SAPS, the component of the SAPS, also leadership failures, whether the leadership of SAPS took action to address concerns, and the role of senior management in enabling or preventing these issues. So this is the area where I think I'm trying to focus on. My first question is instability in crime intelligence a new phenomenon that started with Minister Mnchunu?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. No, it started long ago. You can say even before 2011. That's when the instability started in that division, crime intelligence.
So would it be fair or even factually correct to blame all of the problems that are in criminal intelligence on Minister Mnchunu?
No, it won't be correct. He found the problems there, and yeah.
So, General, you're saying that, sorry, in your view, this started a long time ago, before 2011. I'm interested to find out from you what drives this instability in criminal intelligence. In your presentation to the police portfolio committee, you said criminal intelligence had weakened over the years. Now, who weakened it and how did they weaken it?
Yeah, thanks, Honorable Chair. It get weakened by some of junior members, but mostly also some of the senior members in the crime intelligence itself. Of course, with the influence from external, other people outside. That's how it got weakened over time.
Okay, thanks, General. I really spent some time on this presentation of yours, and at no point does it mention political influence, because you were given a mandate by the Portfolio Committee to come and present on instability in criminal intelligence. Now, maybe I may have missed it or it's written euphemistically, but there's absolutely no mention of political interference in your report to the Portfolio Committee. Why was this, General?
Well, I wrote more on the matters that we're dealing with, which is more the disbanding of the political killings task team. And I did refer, I think, somewhere matters around General Khan. So I didn't want to repeat what other people are saying. So, yeah.
Okay, I hear you. And I think where I'm trying to go is there's this matter of Minister Mnchunu. Let's assume it's an isolated case. But if the reason SAPS and intelligence in particular is weak because of political figures, political parties, I would think that the General would really highlight this to say that we can't function because of politicians and whatnot. And I mean, you raise a whole lot of reasons in your presentation to the to the portfolio committee, but you don't speak about this. Is it because that perhaps it is not as big of an impact, or it wasn't important? If you could just help me understand, General.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. The matters that one raised around the matter of disbandment, the matter of General Khumalo. General Khumalo works in crime intelligence, and the Gauteng operations are intelligence matters. So for me, that was sufficient when one raised that. I thought that was sufficient.
Okay, thank you, General. So you then went on and you said there have been various attempts to revive the division, criminal intelligence that is, and these attempts were met with resistance. Who was responsible for these attempts to thwart the reforms that you wanted? Like, for example, the issues of the cars, the ghost employees. Who resisted your attempts to thwart and bring about reform?
Well, in the past, what the honorable chair, what the honorable member asked is actually there then on the statement you are reading it. So in the past, in 2011, when we were trying to reform the division, who thwarted it, obviously I would say is the executive authority that time, the then minister, and I won't have evidence, but to an extent, probably the president that time, because when we were doing that, they.
Sorry. Please be specific. Who was the minister and the president? General?
The minister then was the late Minister Mthethwa, and the president was President Zuma. So, what one says they thwarted the attempts. Is when we had a plan on how we were reforming the division. We did quite a lot of work, and probably we touched the wrong button maybe, because we even went as far as to themselves, where we took cars they were using themselves for no reason that are from the division. We took them away from former President Zuma. We took car away from former Minister Mthethwa, and I'm sure that might have caused a problem. And that's how we were later then targeted and removed. That's where then Lieutenant General Mkonazi ended up at home. I ended up at Limpopo. Khumalo probably was lucky he remained, but around Gauteng. So those are the people I would say they thwarted the reforms that we were which it was the right thing that we were doing, I think, because we were making sure that the resources of the division solely only get used to fight crime. I mean, why would a minister drive a vehicle that belongs to the account for no reason? So we claim those things back and we put them. And also senior managers of that division, they were driving also those vehicles, and we removed them. Now, when I take over again now and appointed Khumalo there, we found again that they were given back those vehicles, the senior managers, which in actual fact is one of the matters the Auditor General has been querying. And we again started removing them. This time we had the support of former Minister General Khele. At least he was supporting us, and we started this reform. We're still continuing.
Thank you very much, General. So if I'm hearing you correctly, then after the State Capture Commission, you got also the recommendations from the State Capture Commission, and you then found some of these things happening again. but you were supported by the executive authority this time, and will make a deduction that by the president as well. Now, the people who then resisted this time around was now senior management. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That's more senior management and, of course, external. The external will include even some of you. In one or another, you will have influence and other institutions.
I'm actually going to come back to that just now, General. General, what do you think about the interventions that have been put in place by President Ramaphosa to try and strengthen the criminal justice system? So whether it is the high-level panel review on intelligence, whether it's the work that's been attempted to try and strengthen the NPA, and you will probably know more than me. I know that there was even a classified document programmatic response from July 2021 unrest. What do you think of those interventions? Firstly, have they been effective, and have they been helpful to yourselves in any way?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. The interventions, yes, they are helpful, and we start seeing direction. We have done a lot. Most of the departments in the justice system, they improved from where they were. For example, we strengthened public order, which is responsible for policing crowd management. The same division intelligence, we increased the personnel numbers now, and we increased even the numbers of the police. You'd recall the last 3 years, we were given 30,000 for first time in history. We have such a number, so it helped a lot. The cluster is improving. There are, of course, just remnants of problems that are still there, that are not that they are insurmountable. We are attending to them.
Thank you very much, General. So, General, there's been a lot that is said here. I'm going to call them wild allegations for the sake of just being spicy, but a lot of wild allegations that have been thrown at members of parliament. And you, exactly like the General, you just pointed all of us. It would really be helpful. It would really be helpful if we had a sense. I understand that there's issues that may stop you from wanting to point out at certain people, but it would really help if we knew, at least what is it that you are talking about, this interference that comes from members of parliament, because we have to write recommendations that are going to stop it. But also, has this ever been reported, General, anyway, whether it is to the speaker, whether it's to the leader of government business? What is it that these members, I would be very happy if you indicated who it is, but if you can't, what is it that they are doing, and how have you dealt with it to ensure that it is managed? Thank you.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. Some of them we want to talk to the various committees, like the Joint Standing Committee, want to report that, but I haven't formally put pen to paper to report them. That I must say I haven't, but it is indeed, some of, it's not all of you, it's just some of the members of parliament that behave in that manner.
But General, don't you think we have these problems because we keep quiet about things like this and you sweep them under the carpet, whether it's political interference from the executive or the legislature? And I know it was said earlier by Honorable Malema that you're very cordial, you try to deal with certain things, but how are you going to deal with them when you are not putting them out in the open, General?
Yeah, no, I do agree. I think we need to report them. We'll report them. I'm sure you know. One of them is Honorable Adams. That will always go to the portfolio committee, come with allegations, accuse people of whatever, and somehow it looks like, I'm not sure whether he's a member of crime intelligence or he have sources there or he's been handled there. I don't know. Just giving an example of one member. So yeah, one will write to the speaker and make him aware of those. Thanks.
Thank you very much, General. And then my last question on this area is, sorry, General, what oversight mechanisms does SAPS have internally to oversee all of these issues in SAPS? So how would you pick up within SAPS the rotten apples within the institution? How is that handled? Because I understand that there's IPID. I'm not sure whether IPID only deals with issues outside relating to police officers. But if you could just help us understand who guards the guardians, in terms of what's happening there, and any recommendations you would want to make in terms of how that could be strengthened.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. We have a couple of measures within ourselves. We do have a anti-corruption unit within SAPS, which we are this year going to increase the numbers. The numbers are not quite good. They're not more than 100 nationally. So we are going to increase that. And we also do have the counter-intelligence within crime intelligence, which investigate, and when they pick up this type of matters. And of course, every year, as you know, public officials, they declare their financial interest. We have audit and risk committee that look at those matters, and also a chief risk officer that will look at all the employees, and where there are red flags, they will refer those matters to either counterintelligence for investigation and verification. So internally, those are the measures that we have, and externally, that is IPID that is doing some of those investigations. So in terms of improving internal measures, I think those are the areas that we are having. But I think where we are lacking is more what I'm doing now in terms of having an external body to do lifestyle audit of ourselves. And because we were doing financial disclosure every year, and we will find a few red flags, but I'm sure if it's done by somebody external, that I take it that it's going to make a big difference. So we'll know really who's who in the organization. And that, if there are red flags, it will be able to assist us. And of course, it will also prevent other employees from doing things that are not right.
Thank you, General. I just want to move very quickly to the PKTT and IMC. General, what exactly did the president announce in KwaZulu-Natal? Did he announce the fact that he's going to have an intervention in political killings? Did he announce an IMC? Did he announce a task team? What exactly? Because I'm getting a bit confused.
Yeah, I don't have that. I think there is a statement to that, a voice statement to that effect. He announced that he's establishing an interministerial committee that will deal with political killings in KwaZulu-Natal. That's what he announced. And then, of course, and he announced as to who are those, the interministerial committee. Then the interministerial committee was established and it started functioning.
Okay, all right. Now I'm clear now. And I suppose you'll agree with me that there's nothing strange or nefarious with an IMC not existing anymore because the term of cabinet came to an end and an IMC is basically a cabinet committee established by the president. So the fact that after 2024 elections, there was a new government and a new cabinet, it stands to reason that perhaps that IMC no longer exists. Am I right?
That is correct, Honorable Chair. That's why I said earlier that, well, he established based on the need. If there is no need, like the PKTT there is doing well, there might not be no need in the new administration to establish the same IMC.
Now, but having said that, you also agree, General, that the decisions, though, of an IMC, they continue and they subsist until they are changed, perhaps by another competent body. So any decision that would have been taken by that IMC continues.
Yeah, that is correct. The decisions will remain, of course, yes.
Okay. Now, General, there's been a toing and froing, and we put it also to General Masemula about the authority to establish the PKTT. And it's been said in different forums that the National Commissioner had established the PKTT, not the IMC. But can I refer you, General, to page 105 of your bundle? It's your presentation to the police committee.
Yeah, and it seems to find the 105.
If you just go to the, I don't know what volume, guys, volume 3, it's maybe if you just flip General and then you'll see the presentation that you made to the Portfolio Committee on Police. Do you have it there? Maybe it's.
I think I found it.
Please.
Yeah, I do find it.
Okay, then if you look, yes, if you look at the pages, then 105.
Yeah, I'm at 105.
Thank you, General. The heading there is background.
Correct.
General, can I ask that you read for us bullet point 1, 2, 3, 4? Just that first sentence. Bullet point 4.
It reads, it says a decision was taken by the IMC to establish a national integrated multidisciplinary task team consisting of SAPS and National Prosecuting Authority, supported by State Security and Correctional Services, which commenced in July 2018 to implement the now tried and tested, analysis-led and prosecution-driven investigation strategy.
Thank you, General. Would I be correct to interpret the National Integrated Multidisciplinary Task Team to be what we have been calling here the Political Killings Task Team?
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
To the Portfolio Committee that decision was taken by the IMC.
Yeah, I see it's written like that, Honorable Chair. But indeed, well, the steering committee advises the decision, the advised the IMC. The National Commissioner took a decision that this is what we are doing, inform the steering committee. The steering committee relayed the decision to the IMC, and the IMC endorsed the decision. Well, when it gets written, yes, it's put in this fashion, but indeed, yes, the IMC endorsed that decision.
Okay, I think we can move and agree, General, that this line that you are saying that Minister Mnchunu crossed is a very, very thin line, and many people don't know where the line is. And I think even having written this like this is part of demonstration for that. General, I just want to get to the last couple of issues. I really wanted to go into IDEC, but I know we ran out of time. I wanted to understand where IDEC, maybe let me ask the question. Where does IDEC get the authority to arrest General Khumalo? Gandhi, what is the mandate of IDEC? And how do hiring decisions, right or wrong, wrong, hiring decisions become corruption and fraud? Maybe we're not understanding what's happening in that case. So what's IDEC's mandate? How do, within their mandate, investigate a hiring decision at SAPS?
Yeah, thanks, Honorable Chair. As far as I know, IDEC was established to investigate initially state capture, and then now, as they were made permanent, also to investigate corruption. So that's what I know. How they come to investigate the employment or the appointments of a person in crime intelligence, I also do not know. But what I know is that they did request documents through summonses from myself, and they were given those documents, and they started investigating, and eventually they end up arresting. I wouldn't know how it does come. It's not the first time, Honorable Chair, that we have maybe somebody, if somebody is employed erroneously, or you have faked your CV, or you presented some wrong credentials, we pick it up, we do take action. We had actually a level 15 at some point appointed to head our IT space, and we pick up that this person said he was never fired, and he was never fired, and in actual fact he was, and there were certain things that he didn't disclose when he was employed, and we reviewed his employment contract, and we terminated the person's service. That's simply how we handle those type of things. It's not something new. If ever it happens, that's how we deal with it. We don't arrest people. We deal with the matter. And if the panel maybe did something wrong, you institute disciplinary action against them. So there has been, but of course, there was at some point one case in, I think in Limpopo, where members of the panel were charged criminally, and at the end of the day, they were exonerated. But employment issues or matters, normally that's how we handle them.
Okay, I know that we're going to talk to the head of IDEC, but General, did you find it strange what happened with IDEC and General Khumalo?
Yes, I did find it strange, yes. I did find it strange that they were charged for all those charges of corruptions, and I did indeed find it strange.
Thank you, General. My last 2 or 3 questions around some of the structural recommendations and legislative recommendations that have been made, largely by General Mkhwanazi. So General Mkhwanazi says there's no process that is followed around the development of organizational structures within SAPS. I think the example that he used is that depending on who a person is, they can just walk into your office. I'm not saying you specifically. I don't know if he indicated which national commissioner, but then depending on whether the national commissioner likes or doesn't like what they see, they sign off a structure. Is that how things are happening in SAPS?
Yes, that's how it was happening. And Well, even myself, when I came in, I did introduce restructuring, but my restructuring is not wholesale restructuring. We only focus in areas where there is a need, which at head office, there's not much affected except, I think, one division, division inspectorate, which we did a study, or also even the minister also from his side suggested that maybe we don't need that division anymore. We agreed that yes, because me, I was thinking I'm going to downgrade the division, but we end up saying, no, we can close the division inspectorate, but infuse it in each directorate so that it's not a separate division, but it is infused in each directorate and can do the work from there. So, yeah, then thereafter, the area of my restructuring is more at the district and sub-district level. Because the district.
Sorry, John, sorry. Now, I think I hear that. I was just worried about this lack of process. So are you governed only by the SAPS Act or the Public Service Act as well?
We are governed by mostly the SAPS Act. But we also do have Public Service Act personnel. So the Public Service Act, to an extent, yes, it does apply.
Okay. So, but you're saying under your leadership, there's process. People don't just change structures willy-nilly.
I think what he said was when a national commissioner come in, he does restructuring. And the structure of the organization normally is valid for 5 years. So normally when another one comes, either is about to there or so, then they restructure.
No, you was talking about favoritism, General, but I get what you're saying. Now, in terms of seniority within the SAPS, and this is my second last question, honestly, or in fact, it could even be a last question. In terms of seniority within the SAPS, it's the National Commissioner, which is a general. In public service terms, it's the DG, right? Then you have the Deputy National Commissioners, which are Lieutenant Generals. The Provincial Commissioners, are they also Lieutenant Generals? Okay. Now, why would General Mkhwanazi come and say that the DNCs are made senior to the Provincial Commissioners? Is that the case? I would think that they're all on the same level.
Yeah, because they are appointed as Deputy National Commissioners. So in other words, they are extension of the National Commission. So there is a regulation that has been signed off, which define the seniority, which you'll first find the National Commissioner, and then you find the national head of DPCI and the deputy national commissioners, and then you find the provincial commissioners with the divisional commissioners.
So it's correct then that the deputy national commissioners are senior to the provincial commissioners. It's just that General Mkhwanazi doesn't like that.
That's correct. And just that the rank is the same, but yes, that's how you describe it, is correct.
So would I be correct then to say, and you don't have to speak on General Mkhwanazi's behalf if you don't think you should, but would I be correct to say that the reason that General Mkhwanazi doesn't want the DNCs in the BOCs is that he wants a structure where he then feels that they're more senior to them, they are not there, it's just themselves and the National Commissioner. Is there any other reason why he has a problem with the BOC?
No, I think you take it from the Police Act. Remember, the Police Act says the Board of Commissioners will consist of 9 provincial commissioners and the National Commissioner. What I alluded to earlier was that, to you, Honorable Chair, is that the Act doesn't prohibit inclusion of any. Hence, we include the Deputy National Commissioners and the Provincial Commissioners.
What he actually said, National Commissioner, is that he feels that they can't talk there because all these other people, they get there and then they feel like they can't talk. But let me ask you something, General. When the general was acting national commissioner, do you remember him ever calling for the devolution of powers to provinces?
No, I don't remember. Actually, the first time I was appointed by him as a deputy national commissioner, the ones that you don't like now.
Thank you very much, General. No, let me stop there and say that perhaps then we need to get a sense as senior counsel, maybe on some of the reasons around General Mkhwana's views on issues of seniority. Thank you very much, Chairperson. I haven't exhausted my questions, but we've run out of time. Thank you very much. Thank you, General.
Time is always going to be the barrier